Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jumu'ah Mubarak, and welcome to our weekly reading of Al-Wafi, a thorough commentary on the 40 Hadith compiled by Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah. And this commentary is written by Shaykh Mustafa Dib al-Bugha and Shaykh Muhyi Mistu, and it's translated by Mahdi Lok and published by Nawa Books in Singapore. And today, inshallah, we will continue with the reading and the commentary on Hadith number 38, bi'idhnillah. So let's begin. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen, Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Sayyidi ya Rasulallah. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Habib Allah. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya awwal khalqillahi wa khatam rasulillah. Amma ba'd. The 38th hadith in the 40 Nawawiyah is about the means of drawing nearer to Allah the Exalted and attaining His love. So let's read how it translates in English. It is on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, who said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam said, Allah the Exalted has said, whoever shows enmity to a friend of mine, then I declare war on him. My slave does not draw nearer to me with anything more beloved to me than that which I have made obligatory upon him. My slave continues to draw nearer to me with supererogatory acts until I love him. When I love him, I am his hearing with which he hears, his sight with which he sees, his hand with which he grasps, and his foot with which he walks. If he asks me, I will certainly give him, and if he seeks refuge in me, I will certainly give him refuge. أو كما قال, related by al-Bukhari. In the book of Al-Riqaq, the chapter on modesty. So going straight to the commentary on legal matters and other guidance which can be drawn from this hadith, we are on point number 7 today, inshallah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال المصنف رحمه الله تعالى ونفعنا به وبعلومه في الدارين آمين. Number 7. The friend's supplications are answered. And when we say friends here, we mean the awliya. Part of Allah's honoring of His friend is that if he asks Him, Allah, He gives it to him. And if he seeks refuge in Him, Azza wa Jal, from something, He grants him refuge from it. If he supplicates to Allah, He answers him, and thus due to Allah's magnanimity towards him, he becomes someone whose supplications are answered. Many of the righteous of the first 3 generations were known to have their supplications answered, such as Al-Bara ibn Malik, Al-Bara ibn Azib, Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas, and others. However, most of those whose supplications were normally answered were patient with tribulation, chose its rewards, and thus did not supplicate to be relieved from it. Maybe the believer whose supplications are answered supplicates, and Allah knows that what is good for him lies in something else. Thus He does not give him what he asks, and instead gives him what is good, either in this life or the hereafter. Ahmad, Al-Bazzar, and Abu Ya'la have collected with good chains of transmission. Also Al-Hakim, who said its chain of transmission is authentic. The hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu anhu, where the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam said, there is no Muslim who makes a supplication that contains no sin or severing of kinship ties, except that Allah gives him one of 3 things. Either He expedites his supplication for him, He puts it aside for him in the hereafter, or He averts similar calamities from him. Point number 8. What is meant by Allah the Exalted hesitating regarding the believer? The following addition is mentioned in Sahih al-Bukhari. I do not hesitate in anything I do the way I hesitate regarding my believing slave. He dislikes death, and I dislike it when something bad happens to him. Ibn Salah said, it is not the literal, known hesitation that is meant here, that we humans understand. Rather, it means that he acts towards him like someone who is reluctant and adverse. In other words, due to his love for him, he dislikes something bad happening to him in the form of death, because it is the greatest of pains in this world, except for in the case of a few people, and even though it is inevitable. As has been mentioned, death has been decreed and predestined for everyone, as every soul shall taste death, as mentioned in the Quran. This narration also informs us that he does not do this because he wants to abase him, rather he wants to elevate him, because it is a path that leads him to the abode of magnanimity and felicity. Al-Jannat al-Firdaus al-Ala, eternal bliss. Point number 9, the legitimacy of modesty. Al-Bukhari has used this hadith as evidence for modesty, as he has mentioned it in the chapter of modesty, because drawing nearer to Allah the Exalted by way of supererogatory acts, the Nawafil, can only be done with utmost modesty. Likewise, treating the awliya, the friends of Allah the Exalted, as friends and not treating them as enemies can only be done with utmost modesty and humility before Allah Azza wa Jal. Muslim has related from the hadith of Ayyad ibn Hammar, in which the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam said, Allah the Exalted has revealed to me that you be modest, such that no one vaunts himself over anyone else. And the final point, point number 10, the great rank of the friend, the awliya, the wali, because he has exited from his own planning and direction and come under that of his Lord Azza wa Jal, he has moved from helping himself to being helped by Allah. He does not rely on his own strength or power, but instead he sincerely relies on Allah's strength and power. If someone is harming a friend, a wali, and then it is not hastily afflicted with regards to his person, his property, or his children, it should not be presumed that he is safe from Allah taking action upon him. His affliction could come in other forms regarding something similar, such as an affliction in his religion, for example. And that ends the commentary on chapter number 38. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم غفار الذنوب ذا الجلال والإكرام وأتوب إليه من جميع المعاصي كلها والذنوب والآثام ومن كل ذنب أذنبته عمدا وخطأ ظاهرا وباطنا قولا وفعلا في جميع حركاتي وسكناتي وخطراتي وأنفاسي كلها دائما أبدا سرمدا من الذنب الذي أعلم ومن الذنب الذي لا أعلم عدد ما أحاط به العلم ووصاه الكتاب وخطه القلم وعدد ما أوجلته القدرة وخصصته الإرادة ومداد كلمات الله كما ينبغي لجلال وجه ربنا وجماله وكماله وكما يحب ربنا ويرضى. الحمد لله رب العالمين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. عملت سوءا وظلمت نفسي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Inshallah, we will see you again next session بإذن الله. Jumu'ah Mubarak. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.